We received this email, Chuck Crosby, and I think a lot of people who are listening right now will identify with it. A neighbor of Betty's did not pick up after their dog did their business in front of Betty's condo building. And so Betty is wondering, and she's a nice lady, she wants to know, what can she do about this type of ignorance? Chuck, is there anything that can be done?
Well, a 12 gauge typically works.
Oh, geez, okay.
Yeah, but let's not. No.
Yeah, let's
if it's a condo, it has a homeowners association. If it has a homeowners association, they can enforce rules. I guarantee among those rules are you can't let your dog do his business and leave it there. Okay. So the first thing you do is contact the HOA and say, hey, I saw this person.
But what if you didn't see that person?
We'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that. I saw this person, that dog. Here it is. Nice picture. Send it on. The HOA then can go to that person and say, hey, don't do this, and then it can turn into fines and that sort of thing. Now, if you didn't see them, this is the problem that we've seen in many communities, mine in particular. There's not a whole lot you can do. If you don't see it, you don't have any proof who did it. The HOA has to clean it up. I mean, it's an unhealthy situation. What the HOA does thereafter is the question. Now, in ours community, people just started looking around and, keeping an eye. And, if you saw somebody walking a dog and they weren't picking up, it would get mentioned. But what are you going to do? DNA samples on all the animals in the community, and you can't do that. So it does become a problem, but the net result is it's the HOA's problem.
So wait, you're really meaning that you send an email with a picture or something, or contact
saying, hey, here's
the HOA will clean it up for you?
They should. Look at it this way. Is that a healthy situation to have feces piled up in a neighborhood?
Right.
No. Yeah. That becomes an HOA issue. If the HOA doesn't take care of it, then that becomes a problem with the HOA. Now, going after a particular unit owner, that's difficult unless you see them do it. There's not a whole lot you can do. And that just comes down from a proof issue. Now, in our community, we have lawn guys that go out and take care of stuff. I bet his lawnmower takes care of it 9 times out of 10. Yeah. But after things were mentioned at a community meeting, it pretty much stopped. Everybody knows when you're walking your dog, you're looking to see if they're holding that little plastic bag.
Right. Yeah. So
peer pressure, I guess, is the real answer.
Yeah. But I would. So here I'm in Norton Commons, and I have cameras facing the outside of my house. So, and I've got video. I have surveillance 24-hour signs, and please don't do your business on my lawn. Or and that the number one, the dog going number one isn't as big of a problem as number two, because that burns the lawn on top of that. So, I have a camera, and I mean, I don't know, Betty, if you have the ability to put a camera out there, but folks, if this is a problem in your neighborhood, I would consider it. Now, okay, you now at least know who's doing it with what dog. And maybe you then keep an eye out to see when that person goes by. And
typically peer pressure is what resolved our issue. We had some owners that were constantly doing it. Something was said, everybody's looking now, and either they're going to go out at the in the middle of the night and do it, or But it seems to have that seems to have been what worked with us. But other than that, it's an HOA thing to resolve.